Hi, Lochlyn. Thank you so much for the second interview with me.
It is absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
And usually during these pandemic interviews, I often ask people where they are in the world. So where are you right now?
Well, right now I'm in Vancouver, Canada, which is where the city where we shoot Riverdale.
Yeah, when you told me, first of all, that you were in Vancouver, so I was like, is he coming back to Riverdale? But then I remembered that you are from Canada, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to have my hopes up.
But, you know.
Maybe. We'll get to that.
Yes, the Riverdale, yeah.
So my question here for Riverdale, so we can remember a little bit about it. Are you coming back maybe as a twin brother? Something.
Let's just say there will be a surprise.
Oh my God, Lochlyn, don't do this to me.
Yeah. There will be, yeah.
Okay, I will be every day on your Instagram account right now, seeing everything that you're going to post. And then when you post it, I will say, Lochlyn told me first, okay? Just so you know.
Yeah, you got it.
But actually, it's crazy how we are getting to this 5th season. It's such a special moment for the show. And actually, I do remember watching the pilot in 2016, I think. And this is something that the fans don't really know, that you do the pilot like long before the show is on TV. So can you explain this process a little bit for them?
Sure. So we started shooting the pilot, which, and usually they're longer than 8 days. So our pilot was quite long because it was a big show. I think we shot a 14-day pilot, and that happened back in March of 2016. And then we waited up until about June, and we found out that we got a 13-episode pickup. So that's when we found out. That's when we found out that we got picked up. So what they do is you shoot a 1-hour pilot, then the network watches that pilot and decides if it's something they want to go forward with. So we were a mid-season show that year. So we got 13 episodes, and then we started airing in January of 2017. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. And I remember that by that time, I was working in Warner already as an intern.
Okay.
And I was like the teenager kind in the company. So they were like, oh, please come here. We need a teenager in Brazil to watch this. And I watched it, and I do remember the final scene where everyone is around the river and you are with Madison in that candy color palette of the Cooper family. And I was like, oh my God, I need more of this TV show. And okay, these are the good guys. They are not going to kill anyone. And then Riverdale happens.
Yes, right when Jason Blossom's body washed up on shore with a bullet head. Yeah, exactly. I remember sitting around. Here's a funny story that, because I've been friends with Luke Perry since we were 23 years old. So we were both sitting at the table read for the pilot, and just getting to know everyone, introducing ourselves, and we did the table read. And I remember the very last page when it, said, Jason Blossom washing up on shore with a bullet hole in his head. And Luke and I put the script down, and we kind of looked at each other, and we were just like, oh my gosh. Like, it was good. It was written well. And the first thing that both of us said to each other after the table read is how good all the kids were. KJ.
Oh my God,
yeah, they were all just so... They were just so good. It's almost like they were off book for the table read, They were all prepared. And so the kids, they're definitely... One, I think they did just a fantastic thing by taking an iconic comic book and giving it an edgy, dark, sort of backdrop. And then the kids are all fantastic. And then the storylines and all the twists. And so, it's been a lot of fun to be part of the show. I think we talked about the last time. I think the Black Hood was an interesting character, but I didn't really want to become him because I just knew that it would take me away from being a big part of the show. So that's my only regrets about becoming the Black Hood. Other than that, it was good. Like if I could still play the Black Hood and do all those scenes in the prison with Lily coming to the prison to visit me as Betty, I wish they didn't have me break out. It would have been just a cool storyline that she always
as a mentor.
Yeah, and it just was such a different guy to play than Hal Cooper. Like all of a sudden, So,
oh my God, yes.
But here it is, right? It's a comic book show. You didn't see Hal Cooper's body.
Yeah, I do believe in that. For this narrative of the Black Hood, I sometimes feel that Betty got stronger and stronger as a character that everyone loved, and I actually felt that the story needed some kind of big, heavy drama for her, and then it was the Black Hood. But I do agree with you. Like, it would be awesome to have these moments where she is like, oh my God, am I good? Is it okay for me to go to my father that is the Black Hood to ask him for mentoring and more ideas of life, and having him as a father? It will be, I think, more interesting. So I'm still hoping for this.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Roberto's pretty good at keeping secrets, so...
Oh my God, yes. And giving fans spoilers, because I love how Roberto started to become this producer, showrunner, that is the actual point of news, because he does the tweets, he does the Instagram posts of everything behind the scenes. So when you were on set, was it like when Roberto was there? Was it the kind of showrunner that everyone was like, oh my God, he's the boss? Or was it like, oh my God, let me be pretty because maybe I can become a spoiler of Roberto?
You know what, Roberto's he's got a really great creative mind. He knows he's very meticulous. He knows exactly what he wants. He's so hands-on with everything, right from what we wear, the color of the wardrobe, the specific wardrobe choices. We're always respectful of the way that the show and the characters are going, but he's also open to ideas and little things that we feel like we could change within our dialogue. But for the most part, everyone really trusts him, and he's a really good person, and he's smart and talented. So, we just all kind of thrive off of the fact that he has a vision for this show, and we're just he's the puppeteer and we're the puppets in a sense, So, but no, he's not intimidating at all. It's actually a lot of fun when he's there, because a lot of times when he's there, you can fire him a few questions a little more sort of in depth, and just to help create depth with your character and stuff. So that's a lot of the things that I miss about not being on the show as much as I was. So, that's definitely a big loss for me. I don't know if it is for them, but it is for me.
I do believe it is for them. And I related so much about this part of the questions in depth with Roberto, because when I interviewed him, it was like this. He was the owner of the information that he could give away and the information that he couldn't. So it was great, because he was like, oh, I can't tell you this, but if I can tell you something, I will tell you like the Bible of it. Like, do you want to know the story of Pops? I will tell you the story of Pops. And then it's a whole new story. So it's great.
Yeah. It's interesting how they have it all laid out, and they have it all laid out for at least 7 years, right? So it started right from the pilot, and his vision for the show for 7 years is all right there in the pitch, So So I have a feeling a different character was supposed to be the Black Hood, and it's just the way the storylines go, and maybe they felt it might be more interesting if Hal Cooper's the Black Hood. So, things do change as you go, but I do know that they do definitely have a path for what they want for at least 7 years. So,
Lochlyn, thank you so much. I think that's it.
We're good.
Before we end, actually, I wanted to ask you to send a message to your Riverdale fans in Brazil that will watch the premiere of Riverdale on Warner Channel Brazil. So can you send love for them to them?
Of course. Hello, all the Riverdale Brazilian fans. Thank you so much for your support throughout the years. I hope you enjoy season 5. And I think you're going to be in for a real treat when you see what's going on this year. And yeah, you never know. I might see you there.